Little boy walked into a biker bar crying. What they did next broke the internet. It was a Saturday afternoon when the door to the rusted spur creaked open. Engines hummed outside. Rock music buzzed inside, and every head turned. Standing in the doorway was a little boy, no older than 7, clutching a torn backpack and crying so hard he could barely speak. No one moved, until one biker, a mountain of a man with a gray beard and eyes like steel, knelt down and asked, "Who hurt you, kid?" What the boy said next made every biker in that bar stand up in silence. The boy's name was Eli. He'd run from home, barefoot, scared, shaking. His stepfather had been hitting his mom again. Eli said he tried to call the police, but they never came. He'd seen the bikers ride past his trailer park before, the Iron Brotherhood, and in his mind, they looked like men who could stop anyone, so he walked 3 miles alone to find them. All he said was, "Please, make him stop hurting my mom." The bar fell silent. Even the jukebox stopped mid-song. The Iron Brotherhood weren't saints. They were men who'd lived hard lives and learned the cost of silence. Their president, Rex Bear Dalton, had once watched his own sister get taken by an abusive man. He'd sworn never again to stand by and do nothing. Bear looked at Eli's trembling hands, the bruises around his wrist, and the fear in his voice. That was enough. "Brothers," Bear said quietly, rising from his stool, "we ride." The sound of engines filled the small-town air like thunder. When the Iron Brotherhood rolled into the trailer park, every curtain in the neighborhood fluttered shut. 12 black bikes lined up in perfect formation, chrome gleaming in the late afternoon sun. Engines idled low, rumbling like a storm that hadn't decided where to strike. Eli sat behind Bear on his bike, clutching his vest. The bikers dismounted in slow motion, boots hitting gravel, leather creaking, the club patches catching the light. Honor, loyalty, justice. Neighbors peeked through blinds as the bikers walked toward one trailer. The air was thick with tension. Inside, a man shouted and a woman screamed. Bear raised a gloved hand. "Nobody touches the kid's mom," he said. Then he knocked once, hard. The door cracked open, and Eli's stepfather, a lean man with mean eyes, staggered out. He froze when he saw the row of bikers standing shoulder to shoulder on his lawn. "What the hell is this?" he barked, trying to sound brave. Bear stepped forward. "Name's Bear, the boy came to us. Said you've been laying hands on his mom." The man laughed nervously. "You people got no business here." Bear didn't flinch. "That woman and that kid are our business now." Behind him, the brothers said nothing, just stared. Calm but deadly serious. "You think the cops won't—" "They already know," interrupted a biker named Torka, holding up his phone. "Call just went through. They'll be here soon." The man's smirk faded. He turned to go inside, but Bear stopped him with a single word. "Don't." Bear's tone wasn't violent. It was final. As the sirens echoed in the distance, Bear's eyes softened. He remembered his sister, 16 years old, crying on a porch just like this one, begging for help that never came. He couldn't save her back then, but he could save this kid and his mother now. He looked down at Eli, who was clutching his backpack, staring up with those same eyes, a mix of fear and hope. Bear crouched and said, "You did the right thing, kid. You were brave today," Eli whispered. "Are you gonna hurt him?" Bear shook his head. "No, we don't hurt people. We stop the hurting." When the police arrived, the bikers stepped aside quietly. They didn't need to fight. Their presence had already spoken louder than fists ever. The stepfather was taken away in handcuffs after the officers saw the bruises and heard the neighbors' stories. Eli's mom, still trembling, came out of the trailer and hugged her boy so tightly he could barely breathe. The biker stood back, giving her space, the roar of their bikes humming in the distance like a heartbeat. One officer approached Bear and said, "You can't just show up like that. You could have made it worse." Bear nodded slowly. "Maybe. But tell me, officer, what made it better before we came?" The cop didn't answer. Before leaving, Bear pulled an envelope from his jacket, cash the brothers had gathered that afternoon, and slipped it to Eli's mom. "For a fresh start," he said. "No strings attached." Then he turned to Eli. "You ever get scared again, you find us. You're family now." That night, A neighbor's phone video hit social media. 12 bikers standing protectively around a crying boy and his mother, while police led a man away in cuffs. It went viral within hours. The caption read, "They look like outlaws, but they ride like angels." A week later, Eli and his mom moved into a small apartment on the edge of town. Sometimes on Sunday mornings, they'd hear the low rumble of engines passing by, and Eli would run to the window, waving as the Iron Brotherhood rode past, helmets raised in salute. Because sometimes, the heroes don't wear badges. Sometimes, they wear leather. Sometimes the scariest men are the ones who save you. Subscribe for more real stories of honor, brotherhood, and redemption.